I'm back and ready to make a really special dish, seaweed tofu salad. This recipe also appears in a book that I co-authored with my acupuncturist and friend, Dr. Zhenjian Zhang. Dr. Zhang teaches a course at Salem Hospital called Cooking with Medicinal Chinese Food. And she told me actually that herbs and food in Chinese thinking, medicine and everyday thinking, they're just medicine. Everything is medicine. Everything you put into your body is medicine. You are what you eat. But she made this dish, and it's become one of my staples. It's in my cookbook as well, and something healthy to eat. And everybody who likes sushi will absolutely love it. So this is what you do. It's very easy. You get some seaweed. This kind of seaweed are the sheets. So you take this seaweed, it's a sea vegetable, and this is what they make sushi out of. They're just sheets. This recipe uses the kitchen scissor a lot. So this is what it looks like. This is what sushi is made out of. See, here is one sheet, and they put rice in it and they roll it up, but that's very hard. This is like really, my daughter calls it sushi, deconstructed sushi. So you cut the whole package. I cut it in half, and then I make little spaghetti out of seaweed spaghetti. This is so delicious. This is the stuff, as I say, that they make sushi out of. And it gets nice and soft. So, you know, like you have, let's say, like spaghetti and meatballs, and you put your spaghetti down first. So you put your seaweed down first, and any sea vegetable actually would go. You fluff this up a little bit. And I have a little more that I cut up before, so that'll be enough for my company. You could do this ahead of time like I did. Cut it up, put it in a bag. It's very flexible, it's very easy. Now, to make sure that this will be wet, I think I will make my Asian salad dressing now. So all I use is a quarter of a measuring cup because I'm not going to get a lot of cups dirty. So all you need is, this is like for 1 cake of tofu. For 1 cake of tofu, you would use you would use a quarter of this. Now I'm quadrupling it or tripling it. So I'm going to use 1 cup of sesame oil. So a quarter of a cup times 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to use a quarter of a cup of vinegar. You could use any vinegar that you like. Apple cider vinegar is fine. This one happens to be brown rice vinegar. It's just because they had that in Whole Foods. And Whole Foods has sponsored all of the food for this show. I never used rice wine vinegar for this, so I'm anxious to see how it tastes. It'll probably be fine. Brown rice vinegar is probably very Chinese anyway. So a quarter of a cup of the vinegar. And this, I can only find this at Whole Foods. This is Bragg's liquid amino. I use this instead of light soy sauce because the only ingredients in here is just soy. It's concentrated soybeans, and there's no extra sodium in it, and it just tastes delicious. If you can't find this, you can use light soy sauce, but this is really great. So I have a little left over from my own, and I need a cup. Equal amounts of sesame oil and soy sauce. So that's 1, not quite 2, 2, 3, 4. That's it. That's the salad dressing. And if you don't use it all up, it certainly can keep in the refrigerator. So all you do is whisk it up. It smells amazing and very oriental. So I'm just going to wet the seaweed now to make sure that It gets nice and soft. And seaweed is very nutritious because you have all of the trace elements from the sea are right in here. Sea salt is good. Sea vegetables are good. You could use other sea vegetables for this, but my hands are clean. But I just love the sushi nori. And now what you do is you take a package of tofu. This is made out of soybeans, and it's very, very nutritious. A real superfood because you're not eating saturated fats like a big steak with a lot of fat or a nice marbleized steak. And this is very light and refreshing. So you open, I wash this first, but you open the container. And what I also do is I take a paper towel, dry it off like this. And this is really, this could be a meal for 2 or 3 people, just this one cake, but we're having more people here. So you just lay it down. And what I try to do is cut it even slices. You can cut it any way you want. You can be creative. You can cut it in triangles and different squares. But the easy way is I cut it in half so it comes out even. Half again, half again. Each piece gets cut in half. And you end up with 2, 4, 6, 8. Easy way to cut a scallion is just to use your kitchen scissor. So I cut it in half, and then it gives it nice color too. Look at the pretty colors. And just put some scallion on top. You could put more or less, as much as you like. And if people in your family don't like scallions, don't use them. Or put some scallions on the side for people who do like them. They could put it, you want to get it on top, but if it goes all over, that's fine too. And I have a little bit more scallions here that I did with a scissor yesterday, and just put a little bit more on. And look what you're having. You're having 3 vegetables here. And the soup is already 4, and this is just one meal. So that's pretty healthy. Did I tell you that I was able to reverse my husband's cholesterol from high to excellent, and he never needed medication? Because we really eat the right foods. And I can show you, it's all in my book. So this is done. This is the seaweed tofu salad. And that's finished. And to make a nice meal out of it, I will serve it with nice sticky rice that is in the microwave. I'll be right back to get the rice. Okay, now I'm going to take out my sticky rice from the microwave. Actually, what I did here is I cooked the rice in a bowl in the microwave. You could follow directions on the package, which is usually 1 cup of rice. This is for the long grain white Chinese rice. 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. I put in about an extra cup of water to make it sticky, and I cook it a little longer. And you'll have to keep checking on it to see how sticky you want it. It's different than when you're cooking for Spanish. They like it the grains separate, but this is like all sticky. And so this makes a wonderful meal, the rice, hot rice, and the nice tofu salad. But what I'm doing now is because it cooked down, it softened the seaweed, and people just love it. I'm adding a little bit more seaweed because I want everybody to have enough. Like I could eat a whole package myself. It really is like spinach. It cooks down to nothing, and now it's not even cooked. It melts down to nothing or softens to nothing. And then I put a little bit more dressing on it. And maybe I could put a little bit more scallions on. If people don't like them, they can always push them aside. But I think this looks pretty good. A little bit more to make sure it's everything is nice and coated, absorbs the flavors. And you can serve this room temperature or cold. It's so flexible anyway. Would be fine. So that's it. I wonder how my guests will like it because some of them have never had it before. Okay, and now I'm going to put this aside for my company. I think I'll serve at room temperature, and I'm going to make the manzo bread now.
For more information or to purchase the book Something Healthy to Eat, go to www.healthytoeat.com.